just restless. I want to get to the room already. To be honest, I didn't even want to stay that long.
Me neither. I wanted.
It just makes me sad now.
What do you?
That it makes me sad
What?
that I can't get into the water anymore.
Just immediately with the beginning, you're drawn in and you want to know what's happening to this character and what she's going through and like everything about her. And then the entire story, like watching her journey, and it was just so amazing to see and be able to witness. And then like her relationship to the other characters was so intense and the plot was intense. And all of their dynamics worked really well together, and the story just keeps you drawn in like the entire time. And the ending was like, it was like heartbreaking and amazing all in one. So being able to have that balance in a story makes for an amazing story every time.
That was a heavy piece, but so well put together. I thought both the actors did a remarkable job in being true to what their interpretation from the words and what they presented to the screen. The female lead really pulled you in so you could feel and understand her frustration and her challenges and her anger and just how difficult this was for her. But then on the flip side, seeing her husband or partner experiencing his side, thought it was truly well written. Lighting was great, sound was great. The editor pulled and made a tight story. It was a heartbreaking love story.
So sad. And I really enjoyed how the story and the actors really captured what each of the characters was going through in the situation. And I found that I was empathizing with both characters, just despite the events that were happening, and just feeling so sad. Because I think the story kind of captured that moment where both characters were still so full of life, and yet things beyond their control were happening, and they were trying to come to terms with that. And I thought it did a great job of capturing that kind of pain and raw emotion. That's
some really gorgeous sweeping shots of the city, the driving dips and turns by that dark ocean, and all of the ocean shots and the water shots, the allusions in the story to that really captured the push and the pull of these characters' emotional states and of their relationship, and having to really ride the tides of whatever life has given them. Really interesting character development, and a difficult story and a complicated story that was really rich and nuanced and allowed us to sit in that uncomfortable nature. And you felt there was an ease in the storytelling as well. Nothing really felt cliched or previously done, which is quite brilliant. The writing and the subject matter was very haunting to me and left me something to think about days after watching it. And the actors really carried that script with skill and made it seem real. And they had great chemistry in all of their scenes. So I very much appreciated this piece.
I felt sad for her as a character, and I felt angry towards Adrian until I ultimately felt sad for him too. The filmmakers do an incredible job of capturing both sides and both of them feeling trapped in their own version of an unfair situation. And also the composer, also really worked in the background to pull me into the script and pull me into the characters and get me to invest. I fully suffered along with both characters. It was very emotional. The plot was also dark, but unapologetic, and certainly a perspective that I don't see from day to day.
Very dramatic and sad and painful. You can really feel the character's pain and suffering and going through a very, very difficult time. I really enjoyed the whole mentioning of the shore as the ultimate way of freedom. That's how I saw it, and it was. I thought of myself in this situation, and it was a very interesting script. It was very relevant, quite humane, and it was just amazing. This is a full feature film for sure.
Heartbreaking. We have a fantastic performance from our female lead. Both the leads are exemplary in this, but the female lead in particular, how she portrays the pain, the disjointedness, the feeling of incompleteness is just so earnest and sincere and compelling throughout. We feel the pain within ourselves by just watching her go about the simplest of tasks. And our male lead shows a great balance between tenderness and raw anger at life, at this situation that is no one's fault, and yet we're always kind of looking for someone to blame and often turn within ourselves to do that. The ending is so emotionally charged. It just keeps you in a kind of heightened state of concentration until the last shot.
It's definitely got a very cinematic quality to it. A lot of the lighting and the shots feel really lend themselves to the mood and the tone of the story, which is actually pretty well written. It's all, even though there's long spiels of dialogue, it all feels very naturalistic and very grounded, and it really invests you in what the characters are going through. So yeah, I think all the elements come together really well in this one, and it's worth checking out.
The cinematography in this movie was phenomenal. Everything looked so beautiful and so well composed. The use of camera, the use of shots, the angles, everything was so well presented. The music as well, I thought the music was very well done, very well composed. And I think that the visual married with the music is where this movie is made, because it definitely gives you a moody atmosphere, and it really kind of sinks you in psychologically into this story.